Hmm. Well, here we are, right there. Jump around. Want to see the prettiest dog in the world? Come on, come here. Give me a hug. Come on, give me a hug. Give me a hug. Come on, give me a hug. Give me a hug. Thanks, pal. Oh, what do all these things do here? Come on. All right, manage webcam, stream. How long is it? 126. Okay, so my intentions with this channel is to learn, to network with people that are far more educated than I am, but still understand that there's a dire need in this world right now for everybody to start loving each other and getting back to the basics of living in Christ's vision for us all, that He died for us to have the right to have. Boy, this is going to be fun. Uh, Now, all I am is a whole lot of nothing. But I like the nothing that I am, honestly. I've lived a great life, man. I'm 62 years old. I actually do know what freedom is. I've lived pretty free my whole life. I live off grid right now, and I've lived in a camper for more than 15 years. I'm as happy as I could be, man. The only bummer part of my life is the fact that I have to be more political than I ever thought I would have to be, and definitely more than I want to be. That being said, when I was in the military, I took an oath to protect America against all enemies, as you know, foreign and domestic. And the problem I see here in the last 50 years, anyway, maybe more than that, because JFK was talking about it and Eisenhower was talking about it. So they got a lot of years on us, man. I ain't no bullshit about that. So, and they're evil and they never give up. So there's some smart people out here, and I feel like this is God's time. This is where the great revival starts, like Lynn Wood says. And it's really fun to see how just how loving people really are. If you really shed the light on the majority of people, I mean, look around, look at the YouTube videos, and even the ones that are way out there. You know, if you look beyond just the facade of what they're trying to present themselves to be, in their hearts and minds, they all want the same thing that we all do. Love, warmth, food, water. Pretty interesting. In the last 20 years, man, I've learned so much. You work your ass off and you work your ass off and you work your ass off. And I'm a lazy fucker, all right? I have been my whole life. What can I say? I had a heart condition at 9 years old and probably saw a little bit more than maybe I should have. I don't know. But I never really wanted to physically abuse my body and work so hard. I was more interested in, not that I wasn't willing to get out there and put my effort into it, put my back into it. I did body work, I did mechanicing, I did construction, I've owned a computer company. I had a lot of employees in one company that I had, and Man, all I did was babysit, number one. Number two, the government took everything. I watched my grandmother lose everything because she got sick. And I don't come from a rich family. Nobody in my family is really wealthy. There's people that do fine because they work hard, and I'm in that capacity. Even though I'm completely and 100% opted out of the the system, I don't pay taxes. Everybody says I don't own my property, but come and try to take it away from me. See what happens. You know, I'm willing to die for what I stand for. And I think there's a lot of people that feel the same way as I do. And I think there's more of us than there is even worldwide. You look at all your Aussies and look at all the people that are on these YouTube channels of Nick Moseder and Doug TenNapel and Dave cares for you, and I love CanCon, man. He's one of my favorite. And I could go on and on and on. I'm subscribed to about 135 channels, and I spend a lot of time listening to viewpoints, trying to learn what others think about what's going on, and the information that they get, and it's collaborative, and trying to go down and just really be on top of what we're going through right now, because it's amazing how close we are to losing our country. And you know I feel like I'm partially responsible for that, and that's a tough place to be at 62 years old. I got to get my shit together, because it's like the last thing I ever wanted to do was be sitting in front of a damn computer on with a camera in my face, recording my opinion, trying to share information to get to the bottom of where you go from here. Because starting down the road of going into the offices that have been set up to make you fail, or is an exercise in futility if you're looking for change. My mom always said, "You're never going to change anything from the outside in. You got to change things from the inside out," and that goes all the way across the spiritual, the inside, the morality, the physical, uh, financial, and even more so now the government, and the fact that they think that they rule us. I mean, come on. You know, the fact that we let it get to this point really kind of pisses me off, because I know that they pulled the old watch the right hand while the left hand slaps you upside the face situation, but we're smart. Human beings are a lot smarter than they give themselves credit for, number one. And because of what they've done to us, we allowed them to divide us. Okay. I grew up in a community where everybody built each other's homes. Everybody loved each other. Even to this day, I have never known a day where I didn't feel like I was loved. Okay, I know that's a lot. That's a lot of days, but I can look back, and don't get me wrong. We've all had our challenging days and the sorrows and all that go with life kicking your ass. But I always knew I was loved. I had a mom and a dad and a grandma, and sets of grandparents. So, and I lived in the country most of my life, and got to be raised around people with high morals, and just love of each other, and understanding that where I grew up, you couldn't drive past somebody because you're writing them a death sentence if you do. You know, living up 40 miles from the very closest place that you can get fuel, and windy dirt roads, steep gravel, deep snow. Fantastic place to live. Fantastic way to grow up. It's challenging, sometimes lonely, um, surprising, but stunningly beautiful, very serene, pristine. I've been lucky to live where I've lived. And so when I say things like that, I say that because more than not, I hear people's stories of lack of love, didn't feel like they were loved, didn't know in their heart that they were. And, more than I really understood was true. As I grew up around people, and it's a Pollyanna perspective, I know, but I grew up around people that loved one another. It didn't mean we didn't fight, doesn't mean everything was perfect. Far from it. A lot of flaws. But the reality is we knew we loved each other, man. We don't stay in contact anymore. This world's divided us too. But I'm okay with that because I'm connected to him spiritually at a level that transcedes time. And next time I see the people that I love, and I will continue to see them more. But I live off grid. I'm kind of a loner now. I'm a lone wolf. I'm on to different things. I'm creating a home that's 100% self-sustaining, self-sufficient, and becomes its own recycling plant. So uh, I'll probably be making videos about that kind of stuff. But this this channel, Hot Diggity Dog. You're talking to the dog right here. You're talking to the dog. Hot Diggity Dog. And by the way, my motto is I have a quadruple master's and a quadruple PhD, and they all come from HKU, Hard Knocks University. I started working when I was 10, even though I was a spoiled rotten brat because I'd been through hard trouble. But, hey, it all turned out right. It's what it's supposed to be. And I could tell you this life gives so much joy and so much beauty, so much love. I mean, if people were just allowed to be and just interact with each other, and in a setting where they don't have to worry about money, that day's coming, and we all know Nasara Jasara, eh, and yeah, yeah, think about the people that are doing this are few too, and the the few the few that are doing it are taking along thousands and thousands and thousands of them with them, you know, like the kind of modern day Noahs, like like Dave Jose, you know. He's enlightening a lot of people, educating a lot of people, loving a tremendous amount of people. The love that's in that man's heart is you could see bubbling through when he makes his videos and he comes online with Nick Moseder and the different people CanCon. Some of the some of the best conversations I've listened to have been from this group of people, Nick Moseder and Behizzy. Behizzy's my homeboy because he lives in Colorado. So do I. Yep, yep. Oh, Behizzy and Hot Diggity Dog will go whoop some of that ass. You can guarantee it now. I ain't lying. Once that boy gets in his mind where he's headed with it, he's going to help Colorado more than he ever knew. Colorado was always red when I was a kid. And I had my computer company. Interesting timing, too. 1989 through 1996, right? I was before DOS, did CPM systems, had to do a little bit of Linux, a little bit of Unix. Man, crazy times before Windows. Yeah, so I, I watched the 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 tech industry overtake Colorado, and they did it instantly. I mean, it was probably within. Well, there was Boulder had always been pretty liberal. So, but then once they figured out that they could bring the tech industry in, and when they did that, they took away. Well, they didn't take anything away actually because you can't change what's in a man's heart anyway. What they added to the equation was extremely fast growth, a lot of money, uh, a lot of liberal perspectives, and uh, restrictions and regulations that were in California. We used to have bumper stickers that says "Don't Californicate Colorado," and I'm sure that most of you on anywhere online anymore have seen that as well. So anyway, my computer company when I was doing it was, I did a lot of the hardware work, putting together motherboards and learning which one was the fastest chips and all that. It's so far beyond that right now. I mean, to put it into perspective, I used Switch 56 in for my first video teleconferencing thing. Yeah, it took all day long, man. We were on the phone with Microsoft and uh, Powerland, Intel, but it was cool. That I'm glad I went through it. It taught me a lot, but I had no idea how it would continue the way it was because I had to start making more money, because it changed so fast I couldn't keep up. And I got married, so I couldn't support it with just, selling pot and, doing the things that I did because I always had to stay on the top edge of cutting edge of technology, and it was very expensive, and I was in 5,000 square foot shop and met and fell in love with a woman and decided that this lifestyle wasn't really conducive to the right. No, there were a lot of events that changed it, but ended up, long story short, moved back out to the country and out on 10 acres. Started out on 10 acres. It was a beautiful place, and but it was in a county that's corrupt. Number one, I mean some of the worst corruption in America, I'm sure, and definitely extortionists. All they care about is take, 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 and pay, 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 just like the rest of the damn government is. So anyway, we moved out there. I got in trouble because I'm a freaking farm boy. I'm a freaking country boy. I'm not really a farm boy, but I'm a country boy through and through. I had 13 vehicles. Some of them ran, some of them didn't. I needed parts off of some. I just felt like, hey, one man's trash is another man's treasure. And within minutes, they could all of them been running. So we're not going to say that I just have old rusty junk sitting out there, but there was some of that too. But that was my yard art. But then, so I started getting in trouble. I started getting in trouble with them. So we decided, well, screw it. Let's sell this place. Made a boatload of money on it. And decided to move further east. Moved into a little town, and it was right into the little town. It was out, those days out pretty much in the middle of nowhere. It took 45 minutes to get there. But bought this great house, man. First time I was ever a real homeowner. I dabbled, but first time I was really a homeowner. I'm married and got 3 kids, for her kids, and it was like God's way in over my head, man. Holy crap! And I was 36 years old. You'd think I'd be anyway. So I got all this responsibility, and we're always fighting, and I said stupid shit. When I was mad, I never was an abusive person physically. I'd just say stupid shit. Like, well, fuck it. If you don't want being around me, if you want to make me feel that way, it feels like you don't want me around, well, fuck you. Leave. Separate it. If I'm that bad, leave. So anyway, finally, I pushed it enough that that's where it went. What do you expect? So devastated, man. Just rocked my world. Rocked my world. Sold the house, obviously, in that whole situation. Divorce, you'd lose everything. So it was all right. But I got a little house out of the deal, and but my head wasn't right, man. I was in love with her, and broke my heart, crushed my world. Didn't get to see those kids anymore. So yeah. So, but anyway, I probably deserved it. Life's a bitch. So you reap what you sow. So I got my ass kicked because I had it coming, but it made me a better man. Totally made me a better man. So then I started my first construction biz. Well, I had, subcontract before that, but started my own construction company and really tried hard to make money and do it on my own. But I'm not the kind of just don't like working that hard. You know what I mean? I love operating equipment, and I don't want to beat my body up. I love my body, and even I do that without having to beat it up by lifting heavy things and hammering. And I don't know. I just wasn't that type of work wasn't for me. I need to use my brain and my creativity. That's why I like welding. But I love doing all the hands-on construction work. I just didn't want to do it as a profession anymore. And it's interesting because now I'm going to fast forward and just right to 62 years of age. Actually, I'm going to take you back 2 years because it's kind of important to preface this next section just a little bit. And that's 60 years old, turned 60. This woman that I told you I got a divorce from had been back with me. We're trying to figure things out for approximately 2 years at this point. And God, what a great story. Really cool. But didn't work out. We're different people now. And she loves me very much. And I'll always love her. She's the first woman I ever found love with. Only woman I ever married. So it was kind of cool, but it didn't work out, but we'll always be friends. We text back and forth. And I hope that at some point later down the road, we are able to cohabitate in the environment that I'm creating, because the environment I'm creating is more like a community, a small community of people that they grow their vegetables together. They live really close proximity within walking distance of each other. They're building their own houses. Everybody's helping each other do their things, and it's not costing each other a lot of money. To put it into perspective, everything that you will see throughout these videos is going to be recycled, repurposed. Um, I'll build a house right on top of a refinery. You'll see it's pretty cool idea. So therefore, I couldn't ask for permits even if I wanted to, because they're not going to understand the engineering of it. And not about to ask anybody's permission ever again in my life on my property, as long as I'm alive. Anyway, give me liberty or give me death. Don't tread on me, man. That's all I ask. Shit. So anyway, this this vision that I have of what I see being a really cool way of people having their freedom, independence, and yet a feeling of unity with their community. There's a reason why there's the unity in community. And there's so many people way so much smarter than me out there, but I have stuff to offer. I have 62 years of uh, of experience, and I was a hard worker, even though I didn't want to be. I was a hard worker. I I may worked hard enough that, well, to put it in perspective, for 8 years, 5 of those years I worked 100 hours a week. So, needless to say, I had no life. That's all I did was work, and that was when I was babysitting all those employees as well. But I thought to myself, okay, you know what? I'm gonna bust my ass, man. I am gonna kick it as hard as I can, and I'm like 45, and I made myself a commitment at 45 years old. When you turn 55, win, lose, or draw, you're opting out. You're done. You're done with whether you got a boatload of money or not, because there's inventions, there's things I want to do, and I feel like at 55 years old, you still got a little bit of time. You got about 10, 15 years of a good physical capability with, and not that I don't think that you can get more out of it. It's just that kind of set a goal for me, right? So I said by 55, I'm win, lose, or draw, I'm done. So During that course of that time, the last 5 years, with the exception, I'm gonna say the last 6 years, but that last year I really didn't work that hard. All I did was a porta potty business by myself while I was trying to sell my other business and the land that I had bought where I was working. Oh my God, life is so full of ass kickings, man. It's so funny how that all works out. But anyway, one day I sat down and I asked God. I said, I would love for you just to take this little 5 acre plot of land that I've created here and just lift it and take it to my home, my where I was born and raised in the area, somewhere in that state anyway. And he did just that. Did. The only thing is kind of like, okay, but you got to sacrifice this one. In other words, I couldn't sell it, right? I the property I paid for, I owned outright, and I owned the other place as well. But through course of events, that got taken away from me. Never really actually sold the business. The guy that was going to buy the business ended up not wanting the business, and by then I was already transitioned into the new place. So I lost a boatload of money, man. The money that I was going to set up my little shop and just start working my dream, man. Just start building my dream. So experienced many miracles in that time frame. Like the time I made it back to the oil field area up north, then by the time I made it back to that place, that 5 acre place, I had two nickels. The gas light on the dash of the truck was on, and I had money coming, had money there, had assets there, so I was fine. But just shows, and my truck was getting 25.8 miles per gallon, which he'd never done before. So yeah, God was taking care of me, man. He got me back there, got that going. But I ended up losing that whole place and a whole boatload of equipment that went with it. The shop was pretty awesome. I love that. I love that shop. So when I got to Colorado, I ended up on this 5 acres. I'm living in a camper, and I don't care. Like, campers are nice, man, especially the FEMA trailer ones like I have. They're great. So, and we'll be going through some of those in these videos as well. But so here we are, and starting to learn about how we take back our freedom. How well, we never really lost it. Like Dave says, we never lost it. We just didn't know how to exercise it properly, and therefore allowed a lot of people to take advantage of us and do things to us that were inappropriate. I'm just going to leave it at that. So here we are. We need people like Dave, Jose, CanCon, and there's just a boatload of other ones out there right now. Clarence Thomas, Thomas Sowell. Man, they're just all over the place nowadays. That really have it right. So we're turning into this time where I believe the government's not. However, it's going to get reformed one way or another, and we see that coming. And pretty excited about it because this was prophesied in the Bible, man. And I'm by no means biblical, and by it's not religious. I believe in the Mormon Church is probably the best that I've looked into, but I'm a Jack Mormon at best. So the things that have gone on and that's behind our back, that the veil that's been pulled over our eyes, and the pain that's been inflicted by all the things that people have purposely done to humanity. It's amazing, man. It's amazing that people could be that mean, that evil. And every one of us has the devil inside, but man, some of the way that these people can think and what they can come up with are way beyond me. Crazy. But The positive side is, man, I'm so lucky. Born in 1959, right? Look, imagine that, right? Right to the 60s, baby. Peace, love, and smoke dope, baby. Yeah. And I was a pretty open-minded kid. Went to California in my senior year in high school. God, what a great year. Great year. Anyway, so, man, I got to drive up and down Mulholland Drive in an El Camino, 1965 El Camino, 325, 327, 300 horse, four speed, Muncie rock crusher, positive traction rear end. Oof, that truck was so much fun. So much fun. Rubber in all four gears in California, man. In Colorado, it wasn't like that, but man, in California, it's sea level. We rejetted it when we got down there, and oh my god, that thing was fast. Yeah, and it got good gas mileage, man. If you kept your foot out of it, it get probably 20 miles per gallon. And it was well tuned. I always took, freaking low gear head. So because I needed it to run, there was so much pussy to be had. Jeez. Whoo! Sorry, girls. Ooh, damn. Yeah. Horny, hot, diggity dog. What can I say? Hot diggity dog. So anyway, I'm hoping that this channel will be just a place where positive mental attitude can come your way with big vibes of love. Mm. So I'm at 32 minutes and 2 seconds, and I don't know what else to say other than I love y'all. I'm gonna keep learning. I'm gonna keep opening my mind. I'm gonna keep sharing. I really want to get in. Really want to get in good with with the crew of Behizzy, and well, Behizzy, he's a little crazy for me, but that's okay. That's what I love about him. He's a funny boy and full of energy. That gum boy, that boy is full of energy, and his heart is in the right place. His mind is right. He's sharp as a tack. Uh, but I need to be more around involved with the people, but because he's this people too. Within the next 2 years, he's going far. But like Dave, Nick Moseder, um, Nick Moseder and Behizzy, those two are hilarious together. You got to admit, man, they are funny. They're funny. What was he called the other day? A wilf? A wilf? I don't know, man. That's pretty funny shit. I thought they handled it pretty well too. So I think he's like, I think because he's what, 18. I thought he was 20, but he said he was still in high school. I think he's BSing me. I have seen a video from 3 years ago though, and he looked way younger than he does now. So I don't know. Maybe it's the first time he uploaded it was 3 years ago, but it was recorded before that. I don't know. But it's a funny boy. But then there's CanCon, dude. Man, I like CanCon. CanCon's He's one of my kind of peeps, man, and I'm so appreciative of the fact that he was a Marine and what he had to go through. And my family's been there, done that too, in the same time frame. Man, I see the effects of what that happened, man, and what the losses were that were created because of it. And these are good people. They're loving, the salt of the earth, boys that give you shirt off their back, respectful, hard working, big muscles, not afraid to get out there and put a good, honest day's work in for a good, honest day's pay. Not afraid of it. Get out there and get it done. Hell yeah. Get her done, bitches. That's the kind of mentality these boys had as growing up as kids. But they were quiet about it. They were respectful about it. But I know them personally, so And when I watched them as young men, and they've got wives and they've got kids, and you know, they come back and they lose it all because of their mental state. Because you know, pretty rough, pretty rough. I'm pretty pissed off at that's what happens. There's a lot of reform coming. We got prison reform. I think President Trump did a great job with that, man. That opened the door to the right process. Boy, I bet Kamala Harris was pissed off about that. Yeah, you got your ass whooped on that one, but she's right back in there. She got to throw her jabs now. No, man. Yeah, this is a crazy lifetime. Man, this is a crazy lifetime. I believe it's what's prophesied as the end times. It's not that it's not that they're going to get blown up and perish and all this, but it's it- it's a transition time, the end of a time, for example. And but anyway, I know I'm rambling, and that's what this is for. But anyway, CanCon, big props to you, bro. I feel you. I do. I feel you, man. I feel you. I don't understand. Because I can't. Without being there myself, I can't understand. But I bleed red, white, and blue, and my family members mean a lot to me, man. And the way they, yeah. No, enough said. Anyway, then we got Doug Tenable. Oh shit! I'm just gonna nickname him Stretch. You see how long his fingers are? Holy moly, dude! I got these little stubs, right? His would be like clear up to here. Holy cannolis, 6'8". Stretch. It's like that cartoon. I'm Gumby, damn it. Yep, yep. Doug Tenable, he's a good one. He's a good one. The whole group of people that I see coming together in it, and they're putting together these podcasts or not podcasts, but putting together these channels and going through all this adversity. And I've always appreciated the fact that people were willing to write things down so I could learn from them. And now with caring enough to make videos about it, and I've learned so much from YouTube. Oh my God, saved me countless hours, hundreds of dollars. Just what a great resource, man, and giving me boom ideas too that go right along with, opting out of the situation, going off grid, building my own shit, standing up for my rights, saying this is it, this is where I make my final stand, and I'm gonna reach as many people as I can with pure, unadulterated, sloppy hillbilly love. You know what I'm saying? Man, get drunk together. I don't do that very much anymore because I just can't handle it, man. I admit it. I'm a puss nowadays. But you know what? I'm gonna get some of that back too. You know, went through. When you get your ass kicked, sometimes God got to whoop your ass down a little bit, put you on the skids, and let you kind of simmer down for a while, and start getting that little cocky attitude out your ass, boy. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. And when you go through those times, it's because you've done something or you need a lesson that you're not learning. And I know I'll probably never learn this lesson because, man, I don't know, me and money. Uh, always had, always had like a million times more projects than I had money or ability to accomplish. But I could do them. I know I could do them. I ain't, no, don't get me wrong. No, I could do them. Just not enough hours in the day and not enough money. But you know what? It's interesting because now I've been praying my whole life, for God, give me enough money to be able to build on my dreams and not be working on something, not be get it to a particular level. And I'm still gung ho and still ambitious about it, but I run out of money and I have to hodgepodge it, cut corners, or just abandon it completely. And but now God's putting together this system for me that everything that I'm collecting that comes my way is pretty much free, or for my willingness to work for it. And that is like, I'll do some snow plowing, for example, and trade it out for some building materials, and So that kind of stuff is coming around more and more, and it's going to be so much fun, man. I'm telling you, so much fun. Gasification stoves that that turn the smoke out of uh, out of firewood into fuel. Run your generators with it, refine it down to make gasoline, extract the creosote out of it. So when as you're building things, you can keep them from rotting out, and you can cover metal with it, and keep it so that it doesn't rust. It's nothing wasted, man. Nothing wasted, and the ash becomes concrete. Then we move on to plastic. Start recycling plastic, extracting the diesel fuel out of it, and running our vehicles with it. So I'm telling you. And if it gets to the point where they're gonna try to take my truck away from me, or try to tell me I can't drive a vehicle internal combustion engine on our roads. Hopefully by then I won't have to fight that. Hopefully by then I won't have to fight that battle, because everybody else will kick enough ass that they'll be all right with Dutch's truck running up and down the highway. You know, got to go take care of the damsels in distress, man. What the hell? Got to keep those roads open, man. Got to keep. What if somebody has a heart attack? You know, it's funny too. The whole time I've lived where I lived right now, they've been collecting taxes from these poor people for so freaking long, man. And they haven't touched these roads in 30 years. They don't know what they're doing. They have crappy programs. They waste our money. They let these anyway. You guys know. I mean, you all see it. You all see it. And I'm just lucky, man. I'm just lucky. It came at the right time of life, and the right mentality. It gets cold as fuck here. So, but I don't rely on them, man. Shoot, kidding me? Nine scariest words in the world. I'm from the government. I came to help. I'm here to help. Thank you, Ronald Reagan. Another Ronald. Anyway, I like, it's kind of funny watching these guys on these podcasts, or not. I want to call them podcasts, but these videos, watching them forget their train of thought, and watching them be human, and the love that they have for people, and the desire to learn, and the desire to get things out there, and recreate unity in the world, and love and harmony, and it's coming, man. It is coming. It's so cool watching Behizzy. He's so excited, man. He's like a little kid. Well, because he is a little kid, but he's like a kid in a candy store. You know, and I give him props, man. He's one of the sharpest kids I know. But I'm going to introduce you to some sharp kids on the other side of the world as well. And I don't mean they live in the same state. So, uh, but it's the country boy mentality. This boy I'm talking about, every bit as qualified and as intelligent as Behizzy, but he's a country boy, farm boy, raised up riding bulls, doing the mutton busting thing. It's a rancher type boy. And I've been through 300 employees at minimum, and having having a kid like this boy I'm going to introduce you to one day is with his permission. You'll get to see what the country boys, when they shake your hand and look you in the eye and tell you they're going to do something, they do it. You know, hey, it don't always happen the way we want it to. It never happens as fast as we want it to. But with a little bit of grace and a little bit of time and understanding and perseverance, we're gonna get well. It'll all work out right, and if the intentions are there and the hard work to back it up. And don't get me wrong, you ain't always gonna get very hard work out of me. I'm done with that shit. But I'll work on projects. I'll work hard. I'll work consistent when I want to. Man, you know what? It is so nice in life right now. I've been sitting looking out the window, laying on my little sofa converted table thing, super comfortable, super soft, and I can see out the window and I'm looking at this freaking amazing view. It's cold outside, there's snow on the ground. It's warm enough where I could get out there and do stuff. But it just gave me an opportunity to do more procrastinating, which I am the world's best at, right? Totally. And I shouldn't laugh about that because it isn't good. But at this point in my life, I don't care. I just don't freaking care. I don't care. When I get done, I get done. I like to have it all. You don't want to have it all. I want to have it all. We're human. You just want to have a little bit of a lot of everything. That's all. Actually, that's not true. I'm a minimalist. I don't really want a lot. But well, you know what? I just got this vision up here that here's all these little tiny homes, right? They're built on the foundations that I designed that carry the water and the waste system that gets recycled. This is just a little kit that you put together, right? You put a little shed style house on top of it, and you put a little leach field out, and that leach field is just for in case. That's all it's there for. Because hopefully we're smart enough that that we use it all in the way, and then the leach field it will also become a place where, as you do your recycling, there's one great big long tube down the whole setup, right? And all the waste goes, all the heavier waste goes down right onto the top of the leach field, but it's buried underneath the ground and it's covered by a plastic landscaping stuff. And what it does is it makes that soil rich, 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 and it holds in all the moisture, and it doesn't stink. Man, you know what these dumbasses have gotten away with for so long, like up here in this county, they require you have a driveway permit first, then they require that you have a septic permit next, and they require that you have engineered drawings for your septic, and they charge like $1,700 to $3,000 for engineering, and then it's $500 for the permission to dig into your own ground. And we're going to get into a conversation about that in a later date about property. And we're at 47 minutes. I'm gonna cut this off at 50, but we'll pick the stories back up and we'll see what happens. So I just want people to know that it's our time. It's our time. It's our time to take back our dignity and love each other, take back our country, being united with the world. It's not. It's going to be the United States of America still, but it's going to be the united world. But it won't be the one world order that they wanted. Funny how things like that work out, isn't it? You know, that's all. It's pretty cool. Karma. Because there's good karma and there's bad karma. You, all you good people are about to get some good karma. That man, you know, this whole birth certificate thing. I've been doing some research on that, and I got 1 minute to tell you this. So the birth certificate thing it's a documentation of a banknote, basically. In other words, you were sold into a corporation when you were born, the moment you were born, and your parents didn't even know it. It's the shadow over their eyes, and they gave them supposedly the rights and jurisdictions that they have. However, that's we all know that that's not true. But that's the system that they created that we've been working under. That creates a lot of laws that allowed CPS to be the number one trafficker in child trafficking that there is. And I know we're not supposed to say that shit, but I don't give two fucks about that. All right, sorry. And you can take that word too. So anyway, I love y'all. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See ya.